What's up, guys? This is Zach, and I am back with my final battle of the PBL season. I'm battling Nick in the Psyducks, and we're just go ahead and start this battle up. Nick has a couple threats I'm scared of, notably Zygarde and Incineroar. I was really scared of a Dragon Dance Zygarde. It makes a lot of problems for me, so I come in with a couple little different approaches on my Pokemon than we've seen in the past. I was contemplating some crazier sets I might talk about later, but I figured if Nick is going to clinch playoffs against me, I should give him my best shot, let him earn it. So I start off with Victini, thinking I could maybe switch things up and get him, but he leads with this Rotom either to counter a Gligar lead or to just get switch initiative with a Volt Switch. So good lead by him. I'm already on the back foot, so have to throw Flasia out to take that Hydro Pump pretty well, and he Volt Switches out to whatever he wants. So I'm running specially defensive Rafflesia this week, but with another move to kind of assist on the other side, I'm running Reflect, and you're going to see that when Metagross comes out. I'm going to throw this Reflect up. So I have some pretty specially defensive mons this week. I have one all-out physical defensive mon, but I wanted to get a Reflect up because Nick has some scary offensive threats, and it kind of lets me play around things better. So since I have that Reflect up, I'm confident Victini can come in on this Metagross, even though it probably has Earthquake. He sets up Stealth Rocks, which is actually pretty important. I have a knack for not trying to get rid of hazards with this team. I just really don't like switching into Skarmory or Gligar just to get rid of rocks when they have a fair amount of weaknesses and it gives the enemy team some momentum. So I burn that Metagross, and he Earthquakes me, and between the burn and the Reflect, that Earthquake does nothing, even though it's super effective. I was very happy with that. If only I ran physically defensive Victini this week, that would have done even less. It would have been very impressive. I really wanted to Will-O-Wisp again in case he swapped into like Zydog or something else, because if I burned that Zydog, this game would have been over. Right there, I would have felt so much better if Zydog and Metagross were both burned. It would have been crazy. But he goes in the Rotom, Ice Earring Shot, and I have to leave again. So I'm going to bring out Rafflesia. Same kind of face-off we had earlier, and he Pain Splits. The thing is, Rotom has pretty low base HP, so even though he is at a higher percentage than I was at that time, I still have more HP than him, so that Pain Split actually does favor him slightly, brings me down a little bit, and brings him back up to full. So he Will-O-Wisps me here. Not too worried about Venusaur being Will-O-Wisp. It's probably the most preferred status effect I have on Venusaur. It definitely is, since I can't be poisoned. But essentially all it's doing is negating my Black Sludge recovery, so it's like my item got knocked off. I just deal with a little more animation, that's all. So I have a Leech Seed. He's obviously got a switch. I was thinking about Leech Seeding again, but with his Mega Venusaur there, it's just not a safe play to do, and luckily this Mega Venusaur does come out. So I'm just going to set up my Reflect again while I have the turn to do so. Even though this is a special attacker out on the field right now, I have the Reflect. That might aid what's coming out now. So with this Reflect up, I'm kind of confident in bringing out Gallade. Gallade can take whatever this Mega Venusaur is going to throw at him. Everything this Mega Venusaur will do is going to do less than half to Gallade. I've noticed that Nick has run Knockoff on his Venusaur before, and I was kind of hoping he might knock off because I have an ability where I get an attack boost if I get hit by a Dark-type move, and I obviously can't lose my item since it's a Mega Stone. So that would have been perfect if I got knocked off. But I actually just go for my own knockoff. I could have Swords Danced here, but he has a couple answers to my Gallade still, and I didn't want to try to set up the Swords Dance too early. But he comes out the Metagross. So I was mainly expecting Sylveon or Zydog to come out, because Zydog outspeeds me, and Sylveon can take whatever I throw at it, even after Swords Dance. So That's kind of what I was expecting to come out, but he just threw this Metagross out and used Z Ice move, Z Sub-Zero Slammer, which doesn't do a whole lot. Especially with, I'm pretty sure I still have the Reflect up right now, so it's gonna do a whole like 19 points of damage. And I guess now I decided to I set up that Swords Dance and I can knock off again and just take this Metagross out. But now my Reflect is gone and he can come in with whatever he wanted. So really with my Reflect up, Zydog wasn't really a good answer for him, so Yolandi was what I was really expecting to come out earlier. And I just wanted to get rid of whatever item Yolandi had. But obviously, a common set for Yolandi is a bold defensive set. Since it's so naturally specially bulky, you just invest in the physical defensive side and it takes hits pretty well. So even after a Swords Dance, my Zen Headbutt doesn't KO. So I have to get out and go into Rafflesia, who takes this. And I was trying to do a double switch here, because I was going to Leech Seed him, but I figured he might know I was going to try to do that. So I'm going to switch to Victini, and I was okay with trying this confident like double switch, because whatever Sylveon does to Victini still doesn't do much at all. The Stab, Hyper Voice is resisted, and Psyshock is resisted, and I'm specially defensive, so he's not going to do a whole lot. And obviously he didn't switch out, I stayed in. I go for the Will-O-Wisp, expecting him to try to switch, but he's very content with just leaving Yolandi in and playing this game. So he goes for his Wish, I go for Psychic, doesn't do a whole lot at all, and he's going to Hyper Voice me, doesn't do a whole lot at all, and so he gets his Wish, I get my leftovers. And this is, realistically, is going to be a process that's just going to keep repeating itself over and over and over again. He would eventually win this, but he'd be winning it like 10 or 16, like on average I think like 8 or 10 HP per turn, because eventually he does have to like go for Wish and not do damage. So basically this is going to be a really, really long drawn out battle between these two. And I'm kind of not down for it. I'm not about it. So I'm actually going to switch out this turn now that I realize he's very content with just leaving Yolandi in on Victini. I suppose Victini didn't pose a super big threat. So I come out the Tyrant and he wishes again. I'm not sure if he just lost track of his wish, but the wish from last turn comes true and he gets full HP. I do have Final Gambit on Victini, but I wasn't ready to commit a Final Gambit onto the Sylveon already, when I can easily take care of it with other things. So that Sludge Wave does a whole lot of damage, and this Psyshock comes out, it's also going to do a whole lot of damage, but I live it. It's not Stab, so I can live it. And kind of like last week, Nidoking's not something I'm super worried about, like having a lot of HP. I'm just happy knowing that Nidoking can come in, outspeed something, and hit it once really hard. That's my only goal with Nidoking, so the amount of HP Nidoking has doesn't really worry me so much. Unless I got really low and hazards were an issue, so I'm okay with Nidoking being low. I'm just going to Sludge Wave here and either finish this off or do a ton of damage with something else. I'm pretty sure his Venusaur would still take a whole lot of damage to a couple Sludge Waves, so now Bolt comes out. I am Scarfed. I have a Scarfed Nidoking, so I do outspeed Bolt, but a Sludge Wave does not kill Bolt, so I'm going to have to get out of here. And I'm going to go out into Dark Claws, which is my best physical wall. And fun fact, if any of you do not know, Zygarde gets this really fun move called 1,000 Arrows. It's like not broken at all and completely fair. And it's a ground type move that hits things that aren't on the ground. I'm just kidding, I'm not that bitter about the move, but it is a very, very strong move that Game Freak decided to bring into the game. But I just go for a Toxic, because I can take another 1,000 Arrows. Oh, also, that 1,000 Arrows damage told me that that was a banded Zygarde, because I know I don't take that much damage from a regular 1,000 Arrows from a Zygarde. So, that means I don't have to be afraid of a Dragon Dance Zygarde. So, wipe my brow there. Thank goodness I don't have to worry about Dragon Dance Zygarde, but it's still Banded Zygarde, it's still pretty scary. So I'm going to go out to Rafflesia to take this Hydro Pump. He misses, unlucky. It wasn't doing a whole lot of damage, but I mean, a miss is a miss. I told him unlucky, and he's just kind of like, yeah, this is what Hydro Pump has been for me this season. And I feel your pain. I was really debating not bringing Zen Headbutt this week on Gallade, just because I've missed Zen Headbutts constantly in prep. I was thinking of just bringing Psycho Cut and just saying screw it, like I have in the past. But I Giga Drain just to see if he stays in for some reason, if he like tries to change up his playstyle and be a little sneaky. I go for that, because Elite Seed wouldn't have done much. Sludge Bomb wouldn't have done much. Really what I could have done is got a Reflect. That would have been the most optimal play, or just completely predicting this and swapping out in the first place. But obviously I didn't do that, so Deku's going to come in and take the Sludge Bomb. So what he misses in Hydro Pumps, he gets in a poison damage. So that's actually really unfortunate for me. People may not think so because I'm like so low and everything. But what that poison does is make it so that he doesn't even have to hit me. I die to poison. So he just needs something to come out and take a hit and I die. Otherwise, I have to take something out before I die if I weren't poisoned, basically. I'd have 25 HP, I'd either hit his Venusaur or something else has to take 2 hits, unless it's Zydog. And I'm pretty sure Zydog doesn't want to take even 1 hit anyway. So the poison was unfortunate. He missed the Hydro Pump, but he got the poison, so we're kind of back on level playing field here. This is one time when I'm going to make a prediction. I know he's not going to leave this in. He's going to Volt Switch for some kind of initiative, and I know he's going to want to Volt Switch into his Venusaur. So I make a hard prediction here, and I'm going to go ahead and use Psychic. So I use Psychic, and I'm Choice Spec Psychic, and it's going to do like 75%. So beautiful, beautiful damage on that big wall of his. And I have just enough speed investment to speed creep a common Venusaur set that doesn't have a whole lot of speed investment. So basically, I speed crept the Venusaur so that this could take it out. So Mega Venusaur is gone, and here comes Bolt again. So this is another issue, and this is probably my worst play of the game, I think. I come out into Dark Claws. So I know Dark Claws can take 1, but after Stone's damage and 1,000 Arrows, I'm actually not going to be able to take another one, which was a really big mistake on my part. I should have let something else go. I could have let Supreme Arena go, to be honest, and come out the Dark Claws and roosted off 1,000 arrows of damage and or I could have defogged these rocks away. There's a lot of things I could have done, but doing that, I let my defogger go, and that was the worst play I could have made, honestly. So I come out into my Scarf Nidoking, and I'm going to Sheer Force Ice Beam. If he switches into something else, so be it. At this point, I'm pretty sure there's nothing I'm really afraid of coming in on an Ice Beam. Since Landfill is so low, I know I can hit him with 2 Ice Beams and poison damage, and it'll be gone, so I'm going to Ice Beam again. And at this point, I'm pretty sure he's down to a couple Mons, but Nick plays this very smart. So since I'm choiced into Ice Beam, I can't kill this Galvantula in one shot. If I weren't choiced in Ice Beam, if I had chosen Sludge Bomb or something, I actually could kill the Galvantula, and it would have been much better. But he does a very smart play here and sets up Sticky Webs. So the big problem that this late Sticky Web does is my Scarf Nidoking no longer outspeeds his Zydog. And at this point, his Zydog basically wins. So he's going to land the Thunder and get a Paralysis. So good luck, or you had some pretty good luck landing the Thunder. It's like isn't Thunder now 70% accurate or something like that? I would never even think about running Thunder. That's ridiculous. But he landed and he got the Paralysis. At this point, I was telling him, this is another bad play I do. I bring out Rafflesia, who can't come in and take 2 hits. Definitely can't come in and take 2 hits. So bring Rafflesia out, he just budges. And I'm gone. My thought process for bringing Rafflesia out there was just realizing that this Psyduck now beats the team. And my goal was to set up a Reflect, and maybe my Primarina could take something, even though he's banded. I think it was a futile effort, but regardless. So since the sticky webs are up, I no longer outspeed. It's just really unfortunate. It was really smart of him to set up sticky webs. He's a very conscious play of him. A lot of times when people are that late in games, they don't think about strategies like that. When he only has 2 Mons left, he realizes he has an opportunity to set up sticky webs, and his last 2 Mons are so fast they outspeed. So my switches really allow this Galvantula to clean up. If I didn't switch, I could have finished off the Galvantula, and then the Zygarde would have just come in and clean up anyway. So it really doesn't make a whole lot of a difference. But he lands another Thunder, Neki comes into Rocks, and I lose. I lose 4-6 is how we're scoring it. So it was a pretty close match. The sticky webs were fantastic. I made a couple horrible switches. That's another time when I was talking about switching Gligar and losing him. That was really, really bad because he was my only defogger, and he's really the one that could have gotten rid of Rocks and could have gotten rid of sticky webs. So I was picking my plays a little too fast, and I should have known that I should let something else go, let Gligar come in, roost off damage, get rid of the rocks and everything, and just keep him in the back as an option to get rid of all this stuff. Because that Galvantula wasn't too scary for Gligar. I don't think he had HP Ice. I think he had something else. But anyway, Nick wins, and with that he officially clinches playoffs. There were a couple little strategies I wanted to do to kind of mess with him. I was thinking of running a Choice Scarf, Max HP, Final Gambit, Victini, which is basically just a tactical nuke turned into a Pokemon. I looked at his team, and I'm pretty sure all of my Victini has more base HP than like almost all of his Pokemon. So with fully invested HP, Final Gambit, it's a guaranteed KO on whatever comes in, unless it has a Sash. So I thought that would have been pretty funny, or just use V-Create Victini. But like I said earlier, this is kind of his clinching match. It's kind of like playoffs for him already. He's got to win to guarantee anything. So I wanted to give him a decent showing, kind of let him earn his spot in the playoffs. So he did well, and I'm hoping to see him go pretty far. He has a really good team, and I want to see him bring Psyduck more, because Psyduck is such a threat if you use it right. Obviously, he's very frail, and you got to kind of come in for free switches, but Zygarde is very scary, and Incineroar is too if you use him correctly. So good luck in the playoffs, Nick. This is my last commentary of the season. You guys might hear me on some other videos later, maybe, but if not, I'll see you guys next season. I'll talk to you later.